Hey guys, Greg D back here with another video, and today's video is going to revolve around cars again. Namely, why I don't necessarily love my Nissan Maxima yet, and why I am contemplating possibly buying a Subaru WRX. Lately, over the last few weeks, if you are someone who lives in the northeastern United States, you definitely know what I'm talking about here. We've been getting hammered with snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm, and it's been bitterly cold. But I am very disappointed in the way that this car handles in the snow. This car, honestly, I was definitely surprised at this, but I would venture to say that this is probably the worst car that I've ever had as far as dealing with the snow. I've had to, every time that we've had snow, I've had to pretty much turn off the traction control, and even then, car doesn't really do all that great. Now, I don't know if it's the fact that this car has a CVT transmission that maybe holds it back. I don't know if it's the actual tires themselves. The stock tires on this car are Goodyear RSAs, which, you know, I've had Goodyear Eagles before, and they were probably like some of the best tires I've ever had. So I know that Goodyear makes a really solid, like, all-season tire, you know, high performance. But like I said, I don't know if it's just these tires aren't up to par, or like I said, if it's something to do with the CVT transmission. But as of late, and even before I bought this car, I was really researching and really looking into the new WRX 2015s, and I like them. And the only reason why I didn't get that car was the gas mileage kind of scared me, because I was going to be using the car that I bought as a family car. But obviously, as I've looked deeper into stats and whatnot, I realized that in comparison, the Maxima and the WRX are pretty much, you know, in dimensions, they're almost exactly the same. Granted, the gas mileage is a little worse on the WRX, but that's only because it has a smaller gas tank than this car does. And another thing that I've been really disappointed with is this car is not really that much fun to drive. And once again, as I've mentioned, even in the first video walk around that I did, it's because of the CVT transmission. This transmission, I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. It doesn't make the car engaging. It doesn't make the car fun to drive. Even putting it in sport mode, it doesn't really hold the revs really well, so that you keep, you know, in that torque band, that torque range. Like I said, it only is a hoot to drive if you're going in a straight line and you womp the pedal. Now, this car handles adequately well in turns. But like I said, because of the CVT transmission, this car is not very engaging at all. I mean, there's not even paddle shifters here. Maybe it would be a little better if there were paddle shifters with this car. But even then, I don't know if that would completely fix the issue. Like I said, this car is kind of boring to me. And originally I thought, you know, I was looking for a blend of something that I could use for practicality purposes and carrying around a family, and something that was still fun to drive. And when I originally drove this car, it was fun, but I think I was in that honeymoon phase of, you know, oh, I got a new car, so I'm excited about it. And now that I've had this car about 6 months, it's kind of like, it's kind of boring. There's no thrill, there's no engagement. Like I said, there's no excitement to it, unless you are in a straight line and you womp the pedal down all the way. Otherwise, there's really nothing exciting about this car. I mean, yes, the styling of the exterior is nice, but compared to something like a Subaru WRX. This car is pretty standard, large family sedan looking, you know, and even with my disappointment in the way that this car has performed through the snowstorms, I have no confidence in this car whatsoever regarding how this car does in the snow. And another point that makes me think about wanting a WRX is the fact that it has all-wheel drive, so it will be better in the snow than this car does. And I've heard, because several of my friends have Subarus, and I've heard them say that the cars, you know, do wonderfully in the snow. So that is kind of making me, you know, lean towards buying a WRX. Now I know that most of you, some of you, will say get something else other than a WRX, just because, you know, not everyone is a fan of the looks. Not everyone is a fan of the fact that the car, the new WRX, is slower than the previous generation. But honestly, the more that I research and the more that I look at the actual car, the more that I do like the looks. I like the fact that it's tuner car, rally car-ish, but it's more sophisticated. It's not so fanboy ricer looks like the WRX and the STI have been in the past years. I think it's more sophisticated looking. And being now that I'm 30 years old, that appeals to me. So I think that at some point here, I'm going to start saving up my money. Well, actually, I already have started saving up my money, and I'm going to attempt to get a Subaru WRX. If you guys, you know, have any opinions or maybe options as far as something else regarding something that is a good balance of being practical for a family and is also fun to drive, you know, has the performance, please feel free to leave a comment, give me some ideas. But as of right now, I'm really leaning towards getting a Subaru WRX at some point, a new one. And like I said, I'm really, after these snowstorms, I'm really disappointed in how this car has performed in the snow and the lack of engagement with this car. So with that, guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow.